Hi guys, it's Cherie here and welcome back to another surgical tech video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the most important skills you need to have as a surgical tech. But before we get into this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Go ahead and follow me on my socials at Life with Cherie, and also go ahead and follow For the Love of Surgery and The Surgical Technologist Life on Instagram. We collaborate together to try to bring you guys informative surgical tech content, so please go ahead and check us out over there on Instagram, and they're also here on TikTok on YouTube as well. I'm so sorry, I get all the social medias all mixed up, but we're on all of them, so go ahead and follow us over there. And we're gonna get right into this video. So I want to talk about important skill sets that I think you should have if you're thinking about becoming a surgical tech. So I'd say number one on the list is the importance of having a calm demeanor. Surgery can get very hectic. Things can go from 0 to 100 really fast, and you have to be able to be calm under pressure. Like, you cannot be freaking out, you cannot start crying, you cannot have an anxiety attack. You have to keep it under control. You have to be able to work well under pressure. A surgeon screaming at you, everything's loud. You have to remember to remain calm in the event of an emergency situation. Be able to hold your composure. Sometimes neurospine can get crazy, ortho, vascular cases. All of these specialties can get kind of hectic from time to time, and you have to be able to just hone in and try to keep your composure, and also help everyone else in the room focus and keep calm. Like, sometimes you have to tap the surgeon and be like, "Sir, ma'am, we're okay. Let's all just calm down." Right? So you definitely want to be able to just write things out very nice and smooth. Don't freak out. You know what you're doing. Hone it in and keep it pushing. The second thing is attention to detail. Having a great attention to detail plays a very vital role in being a surgical tech, because you need to be able to watch out for everything that's going on around the sterile field. So having an attention to detail, you have to be precise, like critical thinking, double checking, triple checking everything. Sometimes I'm at the field and I can see someone contaminating something. Like, I'm seeing instruments falling out of the corner of my eye. Like, you just have to be on point. You have to pay attention. Like, sometimes there's going to be, especially if you work at a hospital, there's going to be a med student in there. It's going to be sometimes a PA student. It's going to be residents, fellows. There's so many people to look out for that you have to be really focused in to make sure that everyone is staying sterile, the field is staying sterile. I remember I caught a med student's goggles falling off their face. This is actually so funny. The med student had his goggles on and they kept coming off, like they kept falling down. And I was like, I'm gonna have to really pay attention to this guy. And I literally, out of the corner of my eye, saw his goggles coming off, and I was like, give it to me, give it, just contaminate me. So it's like, I did not want this to fall into the patient, like on the field, and like things like that. Sometimes I'm seeing instruments fall out of the corner of my eye, and I have like fast reflexes to get it. But yeah, you really have to always be paying attention to everything that's going on. Sometimes I don't even know how I see certain things happening. It's just like ingrained in me that I just have to be paying attention to everyone. So your attention to detail is super important. And this also like helps like just spot like small errors and things that can going on in the operating room. And this makes a huge difference. And also, number 3, the importance of quick thinking quick on your feet. Like, be prepared for the unexpected always. For me personally, if I'm doing a general case and there is all these possibilities, let's say it's a laparoscopic case and it's a possible open, I'm just gonna go ahead, and me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna open a major abdominal tray, and I'm gonna make sure I go ahead and count that at the beginning. If it says a possible open, I'm just gonna go ahead, cover myself, and just open that major abdominal tray and count it. If my nurse want to be mad, she can be mad all they want. I don't care. I'm just gonna open that tray. I'm gonna count it so I can have peace of mind. Because there was one scenario where the case wasn't even scheduled as possible open. Okay, it wasn't. But in the middle of the procedure, we were doing, I think, probably an appy. And as soon as the surgeon put the stapler in and he fixed the jaws around the appendix to go ahead and staple it off, the tower, the laparoscopic tower that we're looking at just went out. It just went black. It literally just went black. And he didn't even he was like, what the heck? And immediately was just like, we're going open. And I was like, what? We're going open? Luckily, I had opened on accident the major abdominal tray, but I didn't count it. I didn't count it because that was the one time the nurse was like, oh, but it's not scheduled as open, but I already accidentally opened it, so just keep it, but I'm not going to count it. But luckily, I had opened that major abdominal. We were about to go deep, and I would need all those instruments, and the stapler is literally inside the patient, and we have no visualization at this point because the towers went out simultaneously. It just went black. It was insane, and we just had to immediately go open. So the importance of quick thinking, I already had a 10 bid loaded because you never know what can happen. And so there's a 10 bid and 15 bid that comes into the pack. I usually just always go ahead and have 2 blades, 2 knife handles ready with a 10 and a 15. And if the surgeon likes an 11 blade for starting the laparoscopic case, then I'll have an 11 blade. But anytime I have multiple blades, I just go ahead and I just load them because you never know what can happen. And so thinking quickly and being able to respond very quickly and efficiently separates you from everyone else. That is just, you're just going to be a surgical tech that a surgeon's going to be like, yes, you are ready for everything. And I love that. So always be prepared for the unexpected and just think quickly. It's just the other day, surgeon asked me for a 42, something bigger than a 42 cookie cutter. Didn't have any. The biggest size that I know we had was a 42, and I was like, I don't have anything bigger than a 42, but I was like, I do have the medicine cup, and the medicine cup is bigger than a 42. I know it was bigger than the 42, and he was like, oh, this actually works. But instead of just being like, oh, I don't have that and don't have a solution, always have a backup solution. Never just be like, oh, I don't have that. There's always, I just feel in certain situations, there's always something a makeshift or something similar that you can give to a surgeon when you don't have the specific thing that they're asking for. So using quick thinking and just thinking outside the box takes you a very, very long way in the operating room. Knowing the procedure takes you so much further than just knowing, oh, I know I need to pass this. I know these are the instruments that they need. Knowing the details of the procedure and knowing exactly what's happening is so important because that can help you really plan ahead and know that things are needed. You know what I'm saying? So I remember one time I was in this case, I think it was a nephrectomy, something, a radical nephrectomy. And there's this one scrub tech, she was just so on point. And I was covering her for lunch, and she did this thing she had added this specific thing to the suture. I can't remember what it was called. This was a long time ago. But pretty much the surgeon asked for it. And he was asked for it, and we're oh, I don't think you guys probably don't have this. And I was actually, it is here and it's loaded. And he was like, oh, you did that? And I was and one thing about me, I don't take credit for anything. If I didn't do it, it's not my, I'm never going to take credit for someone else's work. I was no, that was all. I was that was all that person. I'm just here giving her lunch and this is all her thing. And he was so impressed. He was how did she know I was going to need that specific thing? And I was because she knows you. I was she knows you. And that just in that moment, I was just that's the kind of scrub tech I want to be. That's the kind of surgical tech I want to be. The ones that think ahead. Because honestly, whatever she did, I didn't even know how to do that. I'd never seen that before. So if that wasn't done and the surgeon needed that, it would have been a moment of him probably coming over and showing me what he needed, which would have been wasting time because he's at the console. This was a robotic case. He was at the console. He was not he would have to scrub in to come show me what to do because I've never seen that thing before. It was some type of anchor that she added on to the end of the suture. I was like, girl, just thinking steps ahead. Moving on, the importance of teamwork. It's a team environment. It's no I, me. That's not my job. I don't do that. You need to know how to do everything. Okay? You need to have an idea of how to work every equipment, like knowing how everything works in the operating room so you can jump in. I've been in cases where my nurse was a fresh off orientation and I was the only one who knew how to do something, and it's like just knowing things and not being like, this isn't my job, because this is a team effort. It's a team effort. Things go so much more smoothly when you work together as a team. Like, your nurse is your girl. Like, you guys can communicate with just eye communications and get things done. I can't tell you how many times I've just looked at my nurse and she knew exactly what I needed. Like, surgeon asked for something that I forgot to open. There is no verbal communication. My nurse just left the room. She got me. So you need to be able to just work well with others, because that just makes your life so much easier. It makes the case go better. It just seamlessly, everyone works together. Everyone is just doing what they need to do to help the patient. This is all about the patient at the end of the day. So knowing how to work together as a team is so important. And always communicating. I cannot stress that enough. There should be no hostility between you and your nurse. You guys should be on the same page. You shouldn't want to ask for something because your nurse has an attitude, or you have an attitude, so your nurse can't ask you something, and you can't verify things with each other because you guys are beefing. Leave it outside the door. And think about the patient that's on the table. I don't care if you guys don't like each other. When you come into the operating room, leave it at the door and do it for the sake of the patient, because this could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be your brother, it could be your sister. You get the point. Let's do right by the patient, okay? And then the importance of continual learning. This is you are constantly evolving as a surgical tech. If you think that you're just gonna be this type of surgical tech that just, I don't need to know that, you're wrong. You're always learning. You're learning something new every single day. Every time you go into a specialty that you're not sure of, every time you go into a case that you've never done before, even a case you've done a million times, you probably can learn something new from someone else. So you should always be learning new. Like the world of surgery is always just going to be evolving, and you need to keep up. Whether that is going on to ast.org and looking at your CEs, and I'm guilty of this, to be honest, but honestly, if you are a part of the Association of Surgical Technologies, they send you out, if you remember, you get they will send you they'll send you their magazine monthly, and it usually has innovative things that are going on in the surgical world, new equipment that's coming out and things like that. And you want to read those, keep your memory fresh, keep up with things. Never just be content with just knowing what you know. You can never know too much as a surgical tech. You're just going to constantly learn new things. So make sure you're always staying up to date with the latest advancements and procedures. If there's a new equipment that's coming on, try to learn it, and make sure you are keeping up with your certification. That's so important. Do not let your certification lapse. Even if you maybe you got hired and they're not pushing you to get certified, go ahead and get certified. Just go get certified. There's no reason for you not to be certified. Go get certified. It's just gonna help you. You learn so much when you take your CEs. There's always something to learn. So please go ahead and continue your education. There's always something to learn. So those are my top list. I'm just looking over my list. Make sure I didn't lose anything. Importance of a calm demeanor, attention to detail, quick thinking, teamwork, continuing your education, These are just gonna help you grow as a surgical tech. You want to be the best you can be. Like, I don't know, like, I'm just not the type of person that just sits and be content. I want to learn always. I always want to learn. Just why I'm back in school to be a first assist, because I constantly just want to keep growing and learning. I love surgery, and I love just reading random things about surgery, and I think everyone should want to be like that. Because learning is fun. So yeah, if you're gonna do something, put your everything into it and be good at it. Do your best. Be the best surgical tech that you can be. So go into work with a good attitude. Remember to play nice with your nurse and the team, and just go have a great career as a surgical tech. I love being a surgical tech, and I love learning new things, and I just want to be the best that I can be. Like, I'm just trying to get to the point, which I kind of am in my little specialty right now, just like knowing, like just the other day too, like we were doing something, I don't know what case we were doing, but I had something in my hand ready to give the surgeon, and I gave it to him without him asking for it, and he was like, how'd you know I was going to need that? I was like, I don't know, sometimes I just do my job. I was like, I don't know, sometimes I pay attention. Okay, but I just like getting to that point where you just know what the surgeon needs. It's also such a good feeling. It feels good. You're like, okay, I'm that girl. When you give something to a surgeon without them having to ask for it, it just feels so good. It feels so good. So keep learning, keep pushing yourself, and be the best surgical tech you can be. So that's all I have for today. Let me know in the comments. I don't know why I just clapped so loud. I'm sorry, you guys. But let me know in the comments what else you guys want me to talk about, and I'll be more than happy to make a video. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. We are so close. I want to get to 10K by the end of the year, so I'm gonna try to push the content out, and really hoping that you guys will support and get me to 10K. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching to the end of this video. And like I said, go ahead and follow me on my socials for like day-to-day surgical tech content, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye.